Light. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hey guys. Surprise, you get me today. We have a really cool guest though. I'm super excited. Somebody that I personally work with a ton. So y'all are going to like it. So come on in, tag your friends. I'll give you just a couple of minutes. What's up, guys? How you doing? Happy Wednesday. There's Dwayne in the background. What's up, guys? We'll give everybody just a moment to hop on here. Tag your friends. We got an awesome, awesome guest tonight, guys. You're going to love this. Good evening. Good evening. All right. All right. I'll give you like 30 more seconds to get on, find the live, all that good stuff. And then we're going to hop right into it because I know that our guest today has tons of cool stuff to say. So yeah, don't want to waste any time. How y'all feeling? We're getting close to the end. This thing goes quick. Water check. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. So I am super excited that we have my own personal bodywork superhero, Chris Barnes, with us tonight. He's just going to talk about, he is a wealth of knowledge as it comes to health, fitness, and his own personal experience. So we're just going to kind of talk about it. So, hey, Chris, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Hey, Mandy, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, we're super excited. I'm super excited. I've been wanting to have you on for a long time. So I always learn new things, and I'm always impressed by your knowledge and your skill set, and you're my sciatica superstar. So anybody in
thank you so much.
What's that?
I said, well, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. You make it so I can do my job. So that's a big deal. So I appreciate you. But let's just kick it off with let me rewind. Let's do a little introduction. You can tell everybody really who you are other than my sciatica superstar.
Okay. How you doing, everybody? My name is Chris Barnes. I am a neuromuscular massage therapist located in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have an office inside the Palisades Tennis Complex, just short of Lake Wiley. So with neuromuscular massage, basically, I help people move better and feel better for a better quality of life. My goal is to, address certain movement imbalances or postural dysfunctions that could be causing you pain. With proper muscle testing, we figure out what muscles are underactive versus overactive, what could possibly need to be lengthened or stretched, and what possibly could be activated or strengthened to help the body pull back into postural balance. So
awesome. So yeah, I mean, Chris is not just a massage therapist. He is the next level. He understands the neuromuscular systems and skeletal, like all the things. So tell me about, so Chris is also a personal trainer. So you do a lot of things. Tell me about your journey in health and how you got into what you do, and also how it's benefited you personally in your own personal health.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a long-winded question, but a good one. I'd try to wrap it up pretty short, or try not to keep it too lengthy. So my fitness journey started probably when I was 16 years old. I was always overweight as a kid, struggled to lose weight, but was always very athletic, and was always out moving my body. But just diet and other, practices, weren't put into place for a healthy lifestyle. When I was 16, I got diagnosed with JRA, which is junior rheumatoid arthritis. And at the time, I'm 35 now. So at the time, there wasn't a rheumatologist in Charlotte. So I was having to go back and forth to Duke Medical to get blood work done, and to, just to check all the medications and make sure everything wasn't affecting my liver and my organs and kidneys and stuff like that. And so with that whole process, I was taking these medications that these doctors were prescribing, and it was making me, my quality of life significantly decreased. I was taking a medication called methotrexate, which is a chemotherapy drug, which they prescribe for RA patients to help to try to balance the immune system and try to reduce some of the inflammation in the body. But with that medication, it has harmful side effects. So I decided that, I wanted to try to figure out what I could do as far as diet, training, exercise, everything that I could possibly do to eliminate the inflammation in my body and possibly either, put it to a halt or bring, my inflammatory markers into remission. So, I dug headfirst into lots of information. And that started kind of my weight loss journey. So first thing was diet, and then training kind of came along with that. Over a period of a year, I lost about 100 pounds and started to get in some pretty decent shape. So, I wasn't really fulfilled with what I was doing with work. I had been an automotive mechanic, Hendrick Honda, for, about 6 years. I also did commercial electrical work for a little while, and just never really felt like I was making a difference. So I wanted to, use my knowledge that I had acquired to try to project that towards others to try to help them meet their goals, and improve their quality of life. I feel that, I was never given the proper information through some of these physicians, that a lot of this stuff can be handled through diet and exercise without having to take a medication. So, I'm a firm believer that that knowledge is power. So definitely, do your research, watch what you're consuming, watch what you're putting in your body. And, you will definitely reap the benefits from that. So with that process, I decided that I wanted to become a personal trainer. I was training for about 8 or 9 months, and then went into a different role as a group fitness instructor. With that, a lot of wear and tear, as you know, Mandy. You guys, put your bodies through a lot. Trying to do all these workouts every single day for your clients. And I was getting fascially tight, but wasn't taking care of my body in the ways that I need to, stretching, mobility, different things like that. And I actually had a pretty tragic injury that was unexpected. I actually tore my lineal alba, which is your soft connective tissue to the abdomen, and ended up getting the wrong imaging done, which set forth a whole process of my journey and my path and how I got led into the bodywork world. So I got misdiagnosed with the wrong imaging, was referred out to a physical therapist that wanted to run some spinal compression tests on me, and I didn't have, I guess, proper activation of my core to support my spine. So after I left his office, I then had some spinal issues going on. I had a herniated T6, T7 and a herniated T7, T8, which, affected my rib cage, thoracic neuritis, a lot of the way that my core and my organs function. So with that injury, I had to, take 8 or 9 months off of, teaching. And I was really having a hard time with it, because if you take an athlete and you tell them not to move, they have a hard time, finding their purpose or their value. So, I kept praying and, trying to ask, how can I use my knowledge as, as a tool to help others, or, improve their quality of life. And I was led down the bodywork and fascia world after that. So I dove head first. First started with my corrective exercise specialization. which allows me to, add some corrective pieces similar to kind of PT style training. And then, I was just overwhelmed with the amount of knowledge this fresh knowledge that I had just learned, and just wanted to use that to help others. So actually got introduced to another therapist. Her name is Sarah Sumner. If you haven't checked her out, she's in the Charlotte area as well. Her business is Prolific Bodywork. And she introduced me to the North Carolina School of Advanced Bodywork. The school is a clinical massage school that focuses more on clinical work, for certain pain patterns, postural distortions, movement imbalances. So definitely not your typical Swedish or your relaxation massage. So she led me to that school, and I decided, I was like, this is it. This is a fit for me. So, completed that program, got licensed, and, been practicing ever since. So in total now I've been practicing. This will almost be my 4th year. And, been growing every day, learning along the process. My clients, thank you, Mandy. Thank you to everybody that works with me. It's a constant growing process, and I'm learning every day. So.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I really love about you, is that each time I come in, you have something new that you want to try, something new you've learned. You're always, researching, and you're never stagnant. And I think that's really important for people across the board, people to be hungry for that knowledge and be hungry for more to, help yourself, help other people. And, especially with fitness and health and weight loss, it's important to do that, because it's an ever changing,
Absolutely.
trending, market, but knowledge is power. You're absolutely right. And I love that about you. That's part of why I wanted to have you come on, is just because you're a wealth of knowledge. You learn these things because you personally benefit from them in your health. So we do have a lot of ladies in the group who have diastasis recti, and that was basically what your tear was, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So it was a torn lineal alba. So normally during pregnancy with women, your body releases hormones that, causes that reaction or that change within the muscle tissue. But, for males too, it can also happen, especially if you're excessively overweight. Over time of carrying all that weight up front, your abdominals stretch out. So a huge thing, especially, when you're getting into a new fitness program, whether it be, postpartum or, whether you're just, simply just starting your weight loss journey and you're significantly, overweight or out of shape, you need to focus on some of these core movements and breathing techniques, and, learn proper form before you're just, going into some of these movements.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. That's great advice. Yeah. So what would be, from your neuromuscular massage therapist perspective, the thing that you would tell our clients who are on their weight loss journey, or who have reached their weight loss goals and are moving on to other things? Like, what would you tell them? It can be anything, like what massage should you get, or do mobility, whatever it is. What would you tell them?
One thing what I want to say is, just like you touched on earlier, one, never be stagnant, always stay hungry. You may find hurdles within your fitness journey where you may be bored, or, you may be looking for something new. Find something to challenge yourself, find something, that's outside of your box, something that you can work towards as far as making little achievable goals. Secondly, the importance of taking care of your body during this fitness process. I think as a whole, everybody has gotten used to the fact that, we're just blaming the way our body feels on age. Oh, I'm getting older, my body hurts. I don't feel the way that I used to. Well, look back at what you're doing to take care of your body. One, are you taking care of your body through what you're putting in, chemically, whether that be, through food, what you're drinking, are you drinking alcohol on the weekends, that's affecting recovery? And also, are you doing the mobility? Are you getting the body work that, that needs to be done, because a lot of the times, through certain exercises, we build up these muscular imbalances that lead to certain dysfunctions or certain overuse injuries. So having a good therapist that you could reach out to, when you're feeling, some tightness come on, or some lower back pain, or any of that stuff, don't just let that stuff ride out, because that's your body telling you that, that there might be something going on there that needs to be addressed.
That's great advice on so many levels, because you're right. We don't have to just get old and our bodies break down. I mean, if you're caring for your body, you can really make your years count a lot more, and you can extend your life a lot more. I mean, I'm 40, and people are usually surprised when I tell them that, but I take care of me, and I don't do everything I'm supposed to do, but I do a lot of stuff that I'm supposed to do. And so we don't have to just roll over and take the aging process. We can try to combat that by taking care of ourselves. We don't have to just be sick. We can combat that by learning and researching and staying hungry for this knowledge. But there was something else you said that I sparked something in my brain, but it just got away from me.
So I want to tap back on, what we're talking about, as far as the stress that's introduced to the body. So stress, can be introduced to the body chemically, physically, and emotionally. So learning how to balance stress also can go a long way for actually, fascial pain, muscle pain. A lot of stress and emotions are stored within the body's tissues. So look at how you're, dealing with your stress. Whether that be unplugging, for, a couple hours each day, whether that be grounding, whether that be, eliminating some stressors that you're putting in your body, whether that be chemically, physically, or emotionally, all those things will play a role in your recovery and in your process. Our bodies like to be in a process called homeostasis, where they like to change. When we have all these outside stressors in our body, we have an abundance of the hormone called cortisol, which doesn't allow, some of those processes to take place. Not to mention, cortisol is one of the number one fat storing hormones. So if you have an abundance of cortisol in your system, your body's going to be more likely to store fat. You're going to less likely to recover. Also can start the degenerative process, through breaking down of tissue, cartilage and bone marrow. So.
Yeah. And thank you for the examples for how you can try to work through that, because I think and I'm personally guilty of saying, well, there's nothing I can do. That's just a stressor in my life, and I'll just deal with it as it comes. But yeah, those things where you do, take a little bit of time out each day, or some people read their Bibles, and some people do grounding, and some people meditate, whatever it is, those are great examples. And I hope that this gets people's wheels turning on how you can start to reduce some of those stressors and stop all this, overproduction of cortisol, because it really is combating you reaching your goals. So that's a good one. You see, I told y'all you're gonna like Chris. Good stuff. Well, I don't want to make this way too long. So we'll kind of wrap it up, but I feel like I could talk to you forever about these things.
I could sit here and chat forever too.
I know, I always do whenever I come into the office. So if you guys are local, this is my guy. I always talk about that helps me with my sciatica. You see the cupping marks on my back. This is Chris. He's magic. Anything you want to close on, Chris?
Well, I just thank you for having me on. Like I said, everybody stay hungry. Do never get content. Always look for that what's next, or look for those small little goals that you can achieve and work towards.
What's so funny is every single class that I teach, I say, set yourself a small goal, because you do have to have those small little goals. And if you take those small steps towards your small goals, then you're going to hit your big goal, and you're not even going to realize it, and you're going to be there. So
small wins every single day do a lot of good for your psychic.
That's right. That's another way to release that stress. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate your time and you popping on with us. And we might have to do another session with you, because you're just
absolutely
a wealth of knowledge.
Well, thanks, Mandy.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great